Hey, well, hello, welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. Hope you all had a great Father's Day. I did. Kelly and the kids spoiled me like they do every year and remind me how blessed I am to be a father. I hope you all have the same experience. I want to talk a little bit about this night of rage that Jane's Revenge is promising when the Roe decision, not the Roe decision, but you know what I mean, the Supreme Court decision having to do with the possible overturning of Roe comes down. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I wanted to let you know about something. Been off for a couple of days because that big C-19 finally got me. Kelly and I went to her high school reunion last week. And, I did almost 2 years in a hospital situation, dealing with COVID patients every day, sometimes tussling with them, hauling bodies down to the morgue, never got it. And then we go to her high school reunion, and there it is. It gets me. I'm a little foggy in the brain, so that's what's going on. She's okay, but apparently a whole lot of people there got it. Last week I had a couple of rough days. Had a fever one night. The next day is pretty, a lot of aches and pains and body aches, and didn't want to do much. Then for a couple of days, I didn't want to do anything but sit in my chair. And I just told somebody that it's kind of like, now I have the feeling of kind of being peacefully stoned, I guess, even though I've never been peacefully stoned. If that's the feeling, it ain't bad, because you don't get all excited about stuff, and I'm very easygoing, peaceful, easy feeling, like the Eagles would say. So I'm getting over it. I'm sure I'll be done with it here in a little bit. do forgive me, please, if I clear my throat a couple of times, because I am dealing with that. Welcome to everybody, all the new people. It's great to have you, and we ask, please share this. This is the channel that we're trying to make a difference, trying to get our point of view out to more and more people as we fight what's going on in our country in a political way. There's that guy that needs his muffler fixed going by. So always feel free to share my videos. I forgot to bring the books out because, like I say, I'm foggy today, but the links to my books are down below. And this video is brought to you by The Reversion, my first book, not some gun control place. So if you'd like to get my books or come to the Patreon channel, we appreciate that. It's a great way to support this channel if you would like to. The links are down below. And welcome to all of the new people. It's great to have you. Okay, some of you might be familiar with this Jane's Revenge organization. I had somebody ask me the other day if I'd go into this a little bit more. So this is that opportunity. So it's a militant pro-abortion group, as some of you may know. I'm going to read a short article here because it is something that you want to be aware of and prepare for. Be ready for this. This could bring about some real dangers in the immediate future. This is out of Breitbart. It says that the head is, Jane's Revenge plans Roe versus Wade reveal night of rage. Carrying that anger out into the world, expressing it physically, they say. Expressing our anger physically. Here's the subhead says, the radical pro-abortion group Jane's Revenge is planning more acts of domestic terrorism when the U.S. Supreme Court's decision on Roe v. Wade is revealed. Dubbed a night of rage, an autonomous call to action against, get this, patriarchal supremacy. Patriarchal supremacy. So for all you patriarchal supremacists out there, you better watch out, right? Okay, here's the body of the article itself. The group posted its plans on the Anarchist Library website at the end of May in expectation of the ruling expected sometime in June. Here are some excerpts from the manifesto. Manifesto, love it, right? Immediately you know it's a bunch of commitards, because they all need to have a manifesto. Here's from their manifesto. This is an event that should inspire rage in millions of people. Excuse me, I'm going to clear my throat off camera for a moment. There we go. Hopefully that's better. You all don't need to listen to me sound like I'm gargling gravel. Okay, so here's for their manifesto. This is an event that should inspire rage in millions of people who can get pregnant, as opposed to women, right? We call them women. They call them people who can get pregnant. And yet the response thus far has been tepid, they say. We have agonized over this apparent absence of indignation. Why is it that we are so afraid to unleash hell upon those who are destroying us? Wow. You know, the pretzel twist they can turn reality into is amazing, isn't it? They want to unleash hell on those of us who are destroying them by standing against them destroying others. Back to their manifesto. Fear of state repression is valid, but this goes deeper than that. Whatever form your fury takes, the first step is feeling it. The next step is carrying that anger out into the world and expressing it physically. Consider this your call to action, expressing it physically. We know what that means, right? Remember the summer of love? They expressed their anger physically. So consider this your call to action. On the night the final ruling is issued, a specific date we cannot yet predict, but we know is arriving imminently, we are asking for courageous hearts to come out after dark. Whoever you are and wherever you are, we are asking for you to do what you can to make your anger known. We have selected a time of 8 p.m. for actions nationwide to begin, but know that this is a general guideline. There may be other considerations involved in planning time and place. We do not claim to speak for every community or crew. We are simply calling out to you, and we hope you answer our cries. The manifesto says that if there are any cis males allies, that means you straight guys, us straight guys who might be allied with them, which I'm not, and I'm sure you're not. If there are any cis males allies who want to take part, okay, but do not police us. Do not tell us what is and isn't appropriate, because that would be a part of the, what is it? Oh yes, the patriarchal supremacy, because you're a man. You may think you're, well, I won't get into, or I may think you're, I won't get into that. The manifesto concludes, to those who work to oppress us, if abortion isn't safe, you aren't either. We are everywhere. And then the end of the article says, more than 100 Republicans have signed a letter asking Attorney General Merrick Garland to instruct the Department of Justice to investigate this group in relation to attacks on pro-life pregnancy centers across the country as domestic terrorists. Well, we know that'll do a lot of good, right? So a night of rage coming up. You know that, so this is Monday. They anticipate that it could be tomorrow, that the Supreme Court comes out with their decision. I don't know. When is their last day? I should have looked that up, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out on their last day. Already they're not going to show up in person, like they usually do and hand down the decisions. It's all going to be done electronically, apparently through their website, or I don't know, I forget what. But it's going to be done electronically after they're already out of town, probably away from home because they're staking out all their houses, hiding out someplace in the Catskills or the Appalachians or Martha's Vineyard or somewhere where they can't be found. Isn't that a statement on how far our country has fallen? This shows a danger, in my opinion. first off, it's a danger to be acknowledged. When this happens, be careful. Be aware. I hope that you're carrying, I hope that you are carrying whatever tools you need to make sure that you are going to be safe. Pay attention to it. As I've mentioned before, I remember the riots in Kansas City in 1968. Of course, they were all over the country. I just happened to be in Kansas City. These things flash fast. If it comes out, you can be caught away from home. You can be caught across town and have to drive through, and all of a sudden there's a big a big riot or a big protest or whatever. The way that they've called for this is for anybody who supports them to carry out, to make their anger known in physical ways. That could mean large-scale protests. It could be large-scale, as we've seen, right? I don't want to put. Hey, my dog is protecting me. Yeah, go lay down. Or it could be individuals. If you're driving around in a vehicle with a pro-life sticker on it, that could make you a target, and you never know where it's going to come from. So be careful. Be careful, number one. And please spread this around to everybody that you know. Secondly, this could be the flash point or the flash that starts the next big evolution of our political process. And I just made one over on integrative preparedness, talking about the fact that a couple of the liberal news outlets, ABC, what's the after over there? AP and some others, they have actually put some statements out saying that the Democrats may be increasing their majorities in both the House and the Senate. Now, where does that come from? It's I won't get into that right now. If you want my in-depth look at that, you can go over and watch the integrated preparedness one that I put up today. But it tells me that they are preparing for something. We know that they're not going to win honestly. We also know that they probably know that. And if they're determined to win, they're determined to win another way. If that happens, as I said on integrative preparedness, that could start the next civil war, I believe. And when this thing comes out, this night of rage, day of rage, whatever it is, from what are these idiots' names again? Jane's Revenge, yeah. This could start the next summer of burning love, and it could be a real dangerous place from here on out. So I'm gonna let it go there. I apologize if I'm a little bit logy, not quite as dynamic as I'd like to be, but this thing will work its way out, and I'm sure I'll be just fine. So spread this around. Be careful. When this decision comes out, it's going to be very, very dangerous, and you don't know when, you don't know where. So be careful. Keep your head on a swivel, your eyes open. Be aware of your surroundings. Let your loved ones know. Stay in good contact, good communications with your loved ones, and prepare. And even though this isn't necessarily a preparedness channel, when this country explodes, preparations are what's going to see you through it. Okay? All right. I'm going to let it go there, and I'm going to go right. Somebody asked me on the other channel, and I addressed this. He said, what about that other series that you're writing? And I said, you know what? Since I don't have energy to do much of anything else, I think I'm just going to spend the rest of this afternoon and maybe the next week or two writing. And the other series is kind of about what's going on now, and it gets more and more interesting, right? So anyway, remember, America needs a reversion. It needs something. It needs all of us to be a part of it. So we appreciate your support. Please spread this around to your friends. If you'd like to support the channel and you're not already with us over on Patreon, I welcome you. I invite you to come join us over there, and thank you so much for your support. And we'll talk to you hopefully tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.